Hey, this is Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday Mojo. Hope you had a great weekend. So yesterday I brought a message from my favorite book of the Bible, Philippians. It's a great book because in that book there's the servant song, the song about how leaders and non-leaders and any human being should live life as a servant the way Jesus did. It's a great book about rejoicing and living in joy. And you know what the really interesting thing is? I was preaching yesterday about how to live in joy even when circumstances aren't what we want them to be. And there's three words in one of those passages. It said, be anxious for nothing. Nothing. Everybody knows what nothing means. In prayer, give everything to God. Everything. And the peace of God will transcend your understanding, so much so that it goes beyond anything you could understand. So be anxious for nothing, give prayer everything, and the peace of God will go beyond anything you could imagine. Amazing book. It's my favorite book. And one of the things I neglected to mention yesterday was that the writer of the book, most everybody agrees, was Paul. And Paul was writing the book with shackles around his ankles. He was in house arrest. He was in jail. And he writes a book that is largely regarded as the book of joy in the New Testament. And it got me thinking. We watched the Revolutionary War documentary by Ken Burns on PBS this past week. And the things, the distances, the sacrifices that those men and women were willing to pay for us to have the kind of freedom that we had today in the country that we have today were phenomenal. And I'm upset if the traffic light goes a little long. And Paul is writing this book that, like I said, has been considered the book of joy in the New Testament. And he's writing it while imprisoned. Most of us would be like, this sucks. But not Paul. And I would say, not Paul. Not those who know the joy of serving Christ, who know the triumph of living in Christ, who know about being anxious for nothing, giving everything to prayer, and understanding a peace that exceeds anything we could imagine. So my encouragement to you is this. My encouragement to me is this. Let us live as those who believe the victory has been won. And whatever these minor inconveniences are, they're minor. And we don't have to have any anxiety. And we don't have to be like, this sucks. We could be like Paul and say, you know, something good's going to come out of this. And it did. And who knows? Maybe in the end, people will say, you know, his life wasn't the easiest, but man, he lived a life of joy. Man, she spread joy wherever she went, even though life had thrown her the worst possible curveballs. Anyway, those are my thoughts from Philippians, from Paul. Let's live in that kind of joy. Have a great week.